G'day guys, my name's Goldzen and welcome back to the Goldzen TV channel where you can find all things professions, gold making and more. I've got a solid video today and we're going to be diving into the alpha for WoW's next expansion, Midnight. In this one, we're going to be talking about all the coming changes to Enchanting, what's new, what's staying and what's being removed. So stay tuned and let's get straight into it. Starting off with the Enchanting station, it houses the trainer, the enchanting table and the enchanting supplies vendor, located directly east of the new Artisans Consortium area, which is just north of the Silvermoon main quest hub. It's super easy to access since it's outside, so you can mount up quickly without much hassle. Enchanting in Midnight introduces a new profession-specific currency called the Artisans Chantas Moxie. You'll use this to buy the new Midnight enchanting recipes, craft profession tools, and grab some accessories. It's a fantastic change, giving each profession its own currency. It evens the playing field and kills off those unfair profession shuffling shenanigans that we saw at the start of the War Within. Liner, the enchanting supplies vendor, now sells the new epic enchanting tool recipe for 150 Moxie. She also sells an enchanting reagent bag for 600 Moxie. It's a bit expensive if you ask me, but I reckon if you're sitting on extra Moxie after you've completed a full build, you're probably being super inefficient with your time allocation. In the War Within, I've gotten so much excess acuity, it's kind of ridiculous. I won't make that same mistake again. Alright, Dolothos, the enchanting trainer, has a bunch of new recipes to get our hands on. Most notably, there are 6 new helm and shoulder enchants covering leech, avoidance, and interestingly, more speed. In total, he sells 18 recipes for just a small amount of gold. It's kind of cool to see the shift away from the usual cloak and bracer enchants to helm and shoulders. This is pretty huge. For anyone making Druid speed sets, since you can now enchant 2 more slots for speed, hopefully you can be running around with 49% speed. It's an absolute blast. Shout out to all my Legion Remix players out there. I've been getting quite strong. I'm now sitting at 236% versatility. Alright, let's kick it off with the specializations. There are 4 main specs for enchanting. First up, we got the Spellbound Shatterer. And yes, that means shattering isn't going anywhere anytime soon. This specialization boosts your secondary stats and is mandatory for all enchanting crafts. Dumping 30 points into this main node extends the buff duration by an extra 10 minutes up to 15 and reduces concentration spent by 10%. As of now, shattering has no major changes coming from the War Within, but let me know in the comments if you're upset that it's still hanging around. Personally, I'm alright with it. I just hope they fix that silly bug where logging out forces you to redo the shatter even if the buff is still active. The 3 secondary nodes, resourcefulness, ingenuity and multicraft, each require 30 knowledge points for a total of 120 to max out this tree. Base ingenuity procs return 50% concentration, with some talents adding 20%, kind of the same as the War Within tool tips. However, we ended up getting 100% return. I will have to keep an eye on the change when the beta launches. Multicraft only matters for crafts that use it, such as the returning gleeful glamours and especially the weapon oils. I'll give a quick note. When the War Within launched, there was no Gleaming Shatter spell to turn the shards into dust. It doesn't look like there's one coming for Midnight either, so or at least not yet. Next up, we got Disenchanting Delegate. This tree lets you master Disenchanting, maximizing reagent quality from destroyed items. It's got 4 nodes using 30 knowledge each, 120 in total to disenchant any quality from uncommon to epic. The primary node boosts disenchanting skill overall and unlocks the secondary nodes. There's 1 for each rarity. Points in each node increases your chances to proc more reagents and at higher qualities. I guess this is a perfect time to cover the new enchanting reagents. 3 fresh ones incoming. We've got the ever singing dust, replacing storm dust, and is obtained by disenchanting green uncommon gear. We got radiant shards is the new one replacing gleaming shards, and they are obtained mostly from disenchanting the blue rare gear, and dawn crystals, replacing refulgent crystals from any purples or epic gear. Regarding disenchanting shuffling in the War Within, we usually crafted the cheapest uncommon profession tools and rare crafted equipment. The market in Midnight will dictate what we would choose. We will look into it a bit more on the enchanting deep dive videos. But for epics, Darkmoon decks were king for shards, but so far nothing's changing there for Midnight. I will need to take a look if Inscription is going to be giving us, you know, the Darkmoon decks to disenchant. I will get on it soon. All right, they've simplified the naming of this next spec compared to how it was in the War Within. We've got Transitories, tonics, and tools. This spec perfects temporary illusions, profession equipment, crafted weapons, and mana oils. It takes exactly 140 knowledge points to fully max it out. The primary node boosts general crafting skill. The secondaries enhance gleeful glamours, and more importantly, in my opinion, the weapon oils. You know, which is a market most people sleep on, in my honest opinion. But, you know, most raiders and Mythic Plus pushers prefer weapon oils over the sharpening stones. You know, further down the tree, it specializes in profession tools and wands. This would appeal to gear crafters for sure. I'm personally steering clear of the gear crafting myself. It's better to pay a specialist, but then again, with my massive old army, crafting my own tools might make a lot of sense. We'll see. Saving for what I think is the best for last, we've got elevating equipment. This specialization is the go-to tree for enhancing tools and gear enchants. The most popular consumables on the market, in my opinion. It's a bit of a beast at 270 knowledge points to fully unlock all the recipes, but with smart pathing means you don't need to grind at all. Target 1 enchant and you're looking for at just 70 points. For example, let's look at the nature's novelties on the right. This gives finesse tool enchants. Perfect for jewel gatherers early access. But choose wisely or just make 1 toon per recipe and you're golden. Alright, here's probably the most significant change coming for Midnight Enchanting, in my opinion. Since the Dragonflight and the War Within profession revamp, we've had tool enchants for like every stat except Multicraft. Now we can craft Multicraft on the tool. Enchant tool Multicraft, a total game changer. We'll now have 3 tool sets, all with double secondary stats stacked up for maximum effectiveness. This recipe costs 150 Moxie, located somewhere in Harrendar, and I suspect day 1 rushing this enchant will be priority for everyone. I'm pretty hyped. Safe to say, Enchanting at Midnight is shaping up to be awesome. Blizzard's simplifying professions overall. I noticed they're ditching the mandatory profession bag that buffed the secondary stats for the shattering buff. I'm so glad to see that mechanic go. They're heading in a better direction, and I can't wait for the service to go live next year. We're going to be smashing it, boys. Oh, I almost forgot. Player housing. Player housing is one of WoW's biggest evergreen systems being introduced into the game, and enchanters are delivering some housing decor for the decorators. We got 8 new recipes and probably some of the best animated stuff in the game. For example, we've got the animated Sindorai hammer and the animated Sindorai pick. Coming from WildStar, I was a bit of a housing fanatic. You know, I'm super stoked to see this hit the economy. 2 recipes come from the enchanting trainer, but as for the other 6 to be determined, we're not sure. Gold making in WoW seems to be evolving, that's for sure. But wait, there's more. Skimming over some of the new recipes, I've spotted a massive change from the War Within. Many recipes now require additional materials beyond the new enchant reagents. all the new tool enchants need a moat and a blacksmithing ingot. Pretty cool, since alloys have quality, but sadly the moats do not. Weapon enchants pull from skinning, jewel crafting, and get this, the new epic tailoring cooldown bolts. My last video covered tailoring. Blizzard's pushing cross-profession use, boosting the whole economy. It's great changes. Thumbs up to Blizzard. Okay, what do you guys reckon about the enchanting changes coming for Midnight? Are you excited? Or do you hate them? Drop your thoughts below. I'm keen to hear what you reckon. This has been your boy Goldzen with an early look at Enchanting for Midnight. If you enjoyed, smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I also stream on Twitch and post daily updates on my journey towards 1 billion liquid gold in retail World of Warcraft over on X. Have a ripper rest of the day. Take it easy, fellas. We'll see you next time.